Ay, ay, ay. What a series. But what we were alluding to as well is that Miyamaika, we saw, especially in that series, he's a very aggressive player. He thinks outside the box. He's very just unorthodox. Demi, a lot more solid, a lot more standard. Like, DarKVoiD's macro is going to be put to the test here against Demi.
It absolutely will, and that is absolutely the scenario Demi wants to play, where he can just out macro his opponent and come in with one big push from every single angle. I will say, continuing on what you said earlier on, I will also say that it still does kind of feel like Miyamaika was playing out a ZvZ against a Terran player. Demi, on the other hand, I mean, he has played a lot against the likes of Azure and whatnot. He absolutely knows what he's doing in ZvT. But we'll see. I think this will be a very exciting match regardless. Starting things off on Oxide in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand side. We have the pink Terran player coming down from the land of Singapore. He is the cat killer himself. Maybe he's from Yishun. He is going to be representing the Brorios. He is DarKVoiD.
He's one of your people. He's Ay.
That's actually a thing that happens in Yishun, though.
Oh,
it's
God.
Unfortunate.
I didn't want to dive into that. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Indian Zerg player, the best player in all of India, representing Alpha X. He's the Red Zerg. He is Demi, the OG GPO champion himself.
Indeed, the original Grand Platypus. And already we're off to a good start. Like Demi, Hatch, Gas Pool.
Yeah.
Entirely different creature, entirely different environment than Miyamaika.
Exactly. He is the polar opposite of Miyamaika, and that is why, you know, some say opposites attract. Not so much in this case, when it comes to Demi and Miyamaika. But this is going to be a good test here for DarKVoiD. DarKVoiD, he was able to show that he can kind of pull things off, grace under pressure, right? Under that kind of crazy cat pressure. But now it's all about the standard play, the macro play. Can he hold a candle to the shark?
Yeah, it's easy to fight a cat on land, but once you splash it around the water, can you deal with a shark? I guess it is easier to fight a shark on land, too.
But he's on the land, mate. He's in the sea.
Ah, he's right in the middle of that Bermuda Triangle. And Demi, he's supposed to put in the water.
He does, and oh boy, I'm really curious to see what DarKVoiD is gonna bring to the table here. Is he gonna whip out any kind of crazy mech? Is he gonna go straight up bio style like we see? I mean, a little bit of miswagger there by Demi, focusing down his own drone for a moment.
Yeah, almost losing 2 unnecessarily, but in the end loses 0 necessarily.
Exactly. Ooh, meanwhile, the drone was hiding out here. He does take the third base uninterrupted. Meanwhile, the Reaper gets into the main. He's gonna scout. Hey, there's no really gases. There's no lair. There's no Roach Warren. Oh, and he gets a drone. Oh my god.
Ooh, nicely done. DarKVoid's got to be pretty disappointed here after this series against Miyamaika. Is like, man, you're not even gonna like try to flood me. I mean.
Oh god, he's getting whiplashed by like the different styles of Zerg that he's playing right now. Oh god, almost loses the Reaper.
Yeah, but thankfully he does pull it away, so he will still have that available to scout, still have some map control, especially if he combines it with these Hellions coming out.
That he will, as the Hellions are on the way. We do have a 1-1-1 opening here. Looks like it's going to be Banshees. There is no... Oh, never mind. He actually doesn't go for the switch.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so kind of like the good old 1-1-1 brick style, if you will. Or just go for the 6 Hellions, single Liberator. Well, I say 6 Hellions, but okay, there we go. Starting to produce them once again.
There we go. 4 Hellions out of the map right now. 2 more on the way. They're going to be lined up with this Liberator. So I imagine DarKVoiD is going to try and hit at multiple places at once. And Demi, I believe, has not scouted. Yep, he has not seen the main base at all so far.
Yeah, slowly making his way in. And he may be able to see the Liberator just as it pops out. None of this Marine has much to say about that. Doesn't quite see it. So Demi will eventually be aware that it's a 1-1-1, but isn't aware of what the opening actually was. Regardless, he should be he should be defending himself pretty well over here. He's already got his queens by the third base location. He's already, making sure that he knows where the Liberator is coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Some, spore crawlers.
He has an Overlord in position as well. There is the Spore in the main base. As Liberator, it's going to struggle to deal some damage. It still can, right? Depending on where he does siege up, but it is going to be difficult here. Meanwhile, the Hellions are also trying to find a way in, but they have to be careful. If they do dive into the natural, there are a wave of Lings waiting for them.
Yeah, don't want to make one false move and dip your toes too deep in the water. That is exactly where the Lings and the Queens want you.
Exactly. Meanwhile, okay, Creep Tumor gets taken out, so the Hellions they're finding some damage. Another Hellion goes down, and the Liberator actually goes for the third.
Nicely done. I guess you realize there's way too much anti-air by that main base location. Very quick pull from Demi, only losing 2 drones over here, but a decent amount of lost mining time. I suppose more importantly, well, I say more importantly, it would open up an avenue of attack for DarKVoiD, but Demi, Grace under pressure. He knows that it's only a single Liberator. I can deal with that with just a single Queen. I don't need to pull everything back. I just want to defend every location at once.
Exactly.
He's getting away with it.
That he is. Meanwhile, Demi went for a fast lair here, and as I quickly checked, the lair has been spotted. I was actually going to assume this was going to be for mutas, but it looks like no, he's instead going for a faster baneling speed.
Huh. Yeah, I too was definitely expecting the Muta King of the rest of Asia to be going into that quick spire, but this is just straight up Ling Bane. Is he getting a macro hatch in that main base? No, not quite, but he is getting a 4th base, so he isn't going to be hurting for larva too much here, despite the composition.
Especially with his double expansion. Like, he's going to have a lot of larva to work with here. He could even attempt to go straight into Hive from here as well, just skip mutas altogether. But it's Demi we're talking about. Like, he still wants to go into that muta play.
Yeah, eventually. But for now, he just wants to make sure he can defend the timing pushes coming out from his Terran opponent. And the way to do that is with Ling Bane, not Russian mutas, Mio.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a waddle buy being set up here. Baneling speed, though, it's going to finish up in 10 seconds, but he's impatient. He wants to get in. There's not that many SCVs.
It's not that many SCVs, but they all fall down regardless. I have to wonder that Sea-Shag probably helped more than it hurt. Because it did do a little bit of friendly fire, but honestly it did. Also take out a couple of the other banelings without.
Yeah. Really I mean, the water bite, it did deal significant damage just because of the local worker count of DarKVoiD. I just realized that he hasn't been making SCVs. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but he is just going across the map. He's just sending it mate at the moment, and he has to be careful. He's about to be surrounded. Oh, never mind. He's going across the map.
Man, this has been propping up a lot in ZvT. I love watching it. I hate playing against it. The counter-attack style. Those players who just make more than enough links here. They know to have a little bit that they can spare to go for a massive counter-attack like this and really cripple the Terran opponent before they can cripple you.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, there's plenty of Ling Bane to defend here. We'll see if DarKVoiD can make something happen. He's essentially all in at this point, losing everything at his 3rd base. A couple of banelings are being wasted here, but they do find connections with the Hellbats. Only 1 Hellbat remaining. Now he's going in.
But he is forced right on now. The tanks go down. A lot of the bio get taken out by the banelings. And as you said, I mean, DarKVoiD was essentially all in. He lost every single worker by this 3rd base location. I mean, it's 71 versus 47. Like, even with mules, DarKVoiD is going to be at quite the mineral disadvantage.
Exactly. Here comes the Ling Bane of Demi. There's no tanks. There's no Widow Mines. GG gets called.
And Demi proves that a shark... I was going to say he's a shark out of water, but that doesn't work. He is absolutely a different beast than Mio Micah. DarKVoiD really has to reevaluate how he wants to continue the series. I mean, that was just a straight-up macro game coming out, and I feel like if you're DarKVoiD right now, you cannot beat somebody like Demi in a macro game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you're DarKVoiD, maybe you want to practice anyway. Maybe you want to test your mettle.
True.
against someone like Demi. But at the same time, if he wants to win this series, I agree. I think that he needs to bring something else to the table. I just don't know if he has it in him, you know?
I definitely have faith, but I think that's why it is, you know, that great that this is a best of 3 series, or more than just a best of 1. You can do your, I'm just gonna practice my mechanics, my macro, and my positioning, and my micro, and stuff like that. And in one of these games, next game, all right, my opponent's on match point. Time to pull out the actual like game-winning strategy here.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, the best part about things is, after taking out Miyamaika, Demi's like, "Oh yes, I am gonna want to practice with you." Or I guess just about any player who has been part of the Beaten by Miyamaika club, which is most of them. But regardless, that is enough rambling on. We are going to be continuing our series here on 2000's Atmosphere. LE. As we look at the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the pink Terran player spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of the map. We have the player from Singapore going to be representing the Brorios. He is DarKVoiD.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Indian Zerg player. He's red, representing Alpha X, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is Demi.
Man, I miss seeing that Indian flag.
Yeah, it's been it's been a long time. Like, Demi was very active in 2019 and even in 2020, but we have talked about it before. Demi, especially in the beginning of this year, was focusing 100% on his studies, as well as, you know, that's why he was running his own events instead of playing in tournaments, because he still wanted to be a part of the StarCraft scene and community. It's still deep within him, and now he's back, he's competing, and honestly, he could do well today because his nemesis is no longer in the tournament.
Oh, the beef did it!
Aye. It was. As again, exclamation mark B in the chat if you want to see it. Beastork did stroke his beef, and he was able to force the walk over there.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I was informed by Kuro, the admin, that Miyamaika just wasn't feeling well, and he did give the walk over to Beastork. Like, he was there, but like, yeah, he's just not feeling it today. His soul was broken by it was taken by the void.
Oh, the DarKVoiD.
God damn it, Yaku.
I guess that's what happens when Papa Look and can't cheer his boys on.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, Miyamaika hasn't been hasn't been competing as much in these recent weeks, so I hope he's doing okay. I hope he's able to come back to us again. He is such a good player in our region.
Really is. And I know that the change in the time slot has been a little bit difficult on Miyamaika. He actually does do a little bit of his, well, I'm actually not too certain what the details are, but he does sort of run a little bit of his shipping operations, and I imagine he focuses a bit more of that on the weekdays and the weekend.
Yeah, he has his own business that he is a part of, so he also has to bear that in mind, and try and juggle that alongside playing and competing. So, I mean, I wish the best of luck to Miyamaika. I hope he's able to come back next week feeling stronger and reinvigorated, especially because DreamHack Fall is around the corner. Like, it's less than 2 months away. So
DreamHack Summer just ended.
Oh, it's still not. The season finals is still like in a couple of weeks.
The season finals is still going on, yeah.
Oh, God.
Aye. Jam-packed. Well, at least the players who are playing in the season finals don't have to go through the qualifiers.
That's true.
That's a bit of a thing. We still have to cast the qualifiers, though. So.
Oh, that we will, mate. That we will.
And the V stream.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire, mate. We go one after the other. Speaking of, this time DarKVoiD is going for a more traditional 1-1-1 opening into the Banshee, but this time Demi was able to get into the main and he saw everything with his Overlord.
Yeah, almost everything. Ground to cover. Ooh, that's an early armory coming down. And yeah. DarKVoiD has not stopped making Hellions.
I love this because, again, Demi, for all he knows, he saw everything that he needed to, right? And as soon as that Overlord died, the DarKVoiD did throw down that armory. He's going to go for a very strong Hellbat push. Hopefully he doesn't show his hand too early here. Demi doesn't have too much to defend. He doesn't have a Roach Warren. He doesn't have a Baneling Nest. So there's a big opportunity here for DarKVoiD to snowball and you know, maybe win the game.
Definitely could be. I'm looking at the amount of queens that Demi has right now, though. Like,
that's a lot of queens.
And that, yeah, that's quite a bit. Hopefully, they do save up some energy here, so they'll be able to get some transfuses down. But DarKVoiD is in a fantastic position right now to snowball a victory, or at least kill every drone in one of these bases.
Exactly. There are going to be a lot of Hellbats though, and it looks like the Banshees are going to meet up with the Hellbats and push together. So maybe DarKVoiD can make something happen here. He's pushing in.
He is. Just one's right on top of these queens. Very good KD8 charge. Isolating these queens so well. And I gotta say, like, these queens are so isolated. It's tough to transfuse them. Demi does get one of them down now. And is he able to hold here? DarKVoiD still has plenty of Hellbats, but Demi coming in with a bit of a flank. Can't exactly flank Hellbats still.
Oh my god, but he does isolate a couple of those Hellbats. The Lings will all get taken out, but those queens that we were talking about earlier, there are just so many of them. They've been microed so well. Demi, he cleans everything up.
He cleans everything up so cleanly. I mean, apart from maybe losing a queen earlier on, that looked pretty flawless from Demi, all things considered. He pulled the drones right at the start when he saw those Hellions. He lost the queen, but that was because of the KD8 charge. It was kind of, it would have been kind of difficult keeping that alive. But most importantly, he completely shuts down all the momentum that DarKVoiD had. And now he's comfortable expanding to a 4th base. And
DarKVoiD is still only on 2 bases. He's throwing down more Raxes. Okay, he does have that 3rd orbital and he's floating it over. But as you said, Demi held that beautifully. It's so difficult. We have to like reinforce this point that it's so difficult to hold against Hellbats with only queens and lings, right? Like Hellbats trade so well against the lings, and if they get on top of the queens, if they don't have enough energy to transfuse, like you can snowball. But Demi just handled that so well. There was a lot of wasted DPS on the hatchery. The drones weren't here to be barbecued either. Like that was very well done there by Demi.
Yeah, I guess some small miscontrol mistakes here from DarKVoiD, where I think he wanted to move forward with all the Hellions, but accidentally maybe A-clicked once or twice, and the Hellbats got distracted a little bit by the hatchery here and there. I 100% believe that if all the Hellions were the Hellbats rather were bunched up together and they fought the queens together, then maybe that would have turned out different. But as you said, they were isolated a little bit more. It was much easier for Demi to pick off the Hellbats when they were on their own. As we all know, Hellbats together strong.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, here come the Mutants. The Banelings, they find connections with those splits, puppy.
Literally the most perfect connections, and the Mutants clean up everything else. DarKVoiD, he's really trying to find some footing in this game, but Demi is shutting it down every single time. He's destroying the ground at his feet. It's like DarKVoiD is a surfer right now, and Demi is just making waves with his tail or something.
That he
to really throw him off his feet.
Oh my god, DarKVoiD, mate. Surf is not up for him as the Mutants, they do get into the natural base. SCVs are going to be going down. The gas is going to be going down. Like, DarKVoiD, he's struggling so much. Meanwhile, Demi, again, the anti-Miyamika, like, he's just taking control of the map. Creep spread all over the place.
Eventually, he should be able to just starve out DarKVoiD. I will say this, though. DarKVoiD, despite all of his momentum being shut down, despite these pushes not working out for him, his macro definitely looks very, very clean. He's getting his 2-2 very, very quickly after getting that 1-1. He's producing out of every single one of his barracks, and it's also a pretty decent economy. He will need a 4th base soon, though.
Yeah, when it comes to 3 bases, like, he's looking pretty good right now. He is missing that 4th orbital, as you mentioned. The biggest advantage that he does have will be his upgrades. He will hit a very nice 2-2 timing, maybe even 3-3 down the line. If he's able to keep this up, it's going to be well ahead of Demi in that respect. But when it comes to pushing out across the map, that's what I'm worried about. I don't know how much success he's going to have if he pushes deep into creep.
Yeah, it's all going to be about positioning, and as you said, Demi just has creep everywhere right now. DarKVoiD, if he takes one step, he's going to be deep into creep. Oh, these mutas getting picked off for free. Massive pick off here for DarKVoiD, taking a beautiful advantage before the fight even begins.
Oh,
but now Demi is tipped off.
Yeah, that he is. He's getting ready. He's morphing in more Baneling. There's still plenty of Ling Bane on the ground. There's Hanks, CG up. Deliberators here as well. No splits.
Oh, no. That looked really good for a second. I thought DarKVoiD was going to be able to snipe all the Banelings at once, but a couple of them did connect. I will say, though, DarKVoiD has been able to keep a lot of his bio alive. Oh, not for much longer. Yeah.
Oh my god, he just kept leaving his tanks exposed. The splits for the Marines or the pre-spread just wasn't there, and Demi does immediately clean up this army.
In a single second here, Light. I feel that in my soul. As a fellow Singapore Terran player, wasn't looking at that location, wasn't able to get that pre-split, and man, Demi collapsed everywhere. Good game, well played, and in the end, Demi will be taking that series 2-0. As he rises from the depths. Regardless, very good series. Very proud of DarKVoiD here, being able to take out Mio-Mike over there and hold his own against Demi. Very optimistic for his future matches.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I approached him to cast his series against Mio-Mike, he's like, really? He's like, I don't know, this isn't gonna go well, but he was able to exceed expectations, and I hope he's not feeling too bad about his loss. Again, taking down Mio-Mike is still a massive victory for him, a momentous occasion. And now he does get knocked down to the lower bracket where he will face Protoss.
Indeed, he will. He's going to face Starduck here in that lower bracket. And man, why did they have to face each other in the best of one that quickly, Light?